They're 135 years representatives from St. Mary Corwin Medical Center, where Charlotte Perez was born. The hospital will discontinue its birthplace and neonatal intensive care unit on December 15th. So December 15th this year. I don't know if this has anything to do with that CEO that just got fired. And we have no idea why that CEO got fired. It just said, oh, CEO is here, now he's gone. He's essentially like a Constance Jones. We probably will never figure out why in the hell the CEO of St. Mary Corwin Medical Center resigned, quit, got fired. Who knows? That's going to be a Constance Jones mystery for all time. Something about values and action. The hospital continued its birth and labor, something, I don't know. But apparently there are a group of physicians who practice at St. Mary Corwin informed the hospital personnel that they would be consolidating their practice at another hospital. So because of this values in action, people, they got their fucking verdict, but because the values in action people got their verdict, then the independent group of physicians who practice at St. Mary Corwin said, fuck St. Mary Corwin, and then they just left and they consolidated their practice at another hospital, leaving St. Mary Corwin without integral resources. So whoever made that values in action decision clearly wasn't respecting the physicians. Physicians felt disrespected, then they got the fuck out of Dodge. No wonder the CEO resigned. The CEO is Brian Moore. So Brian Moore, why'd you go? Why'd you leave? Where are you at? Now, maybe St. Mary Corwin has been asking people to try to cuddle with the heroin addict babies. So I don't know if there's something to do with that. He just got sick and tired of all the heroin-addicted babies and nobody giving a damn about them. There's 3 things that you need to know, according to BeckerHospitalReview.com, when it comes to Brian Moore. He has been with St. Mary Corwin since 2013, so he's been here for 4 years. I mean, that's a legacy, right? That's a term. That's a presidential term. Brian Moore plans to explore opportunities to allow him to translate more than 18 years of acute care, knowledge, and skills into a role that focuses on his passion for healthcare innovation. Oh, that's cute. Oh, real cute, Brian Moore, real cute. Mike Capasso. So Mike Capasso is now taking over for Brian Moore. Brian Moore is no longer in charge now. You got Mike Capasso, the interim administrator. The interim. So I don't know if there's a plan to choose somebody else, but Centennial, Colorado-based Centura Health, the hospital's parent. Wait, Centura Health, who the fuck owns our hospital? Centura Health, apparently. That's the parent. So the hospitals have parents. Like, oh, we just gave birth to a brand new hospital. That you need to, whatever is giving birth to hospitals, you need to feed them more spinach. Whatever. So developing a plan for interim leadership, Mike Capasso. That's the important part, right? Mike Capasso, whoever it is, Mike Capasso. Capasso. Hey, Capasso. So it says vote yes on 300 for Pueblo become a role model turnaround city. For Pueblo to become a role model city. Safe Pueblo programs. If you know anything about Maslow's hierarchy, it's not just safety, it's love and belonging and acceptance and self-actualization, plus, food, water, clothing, shelter. Of course, shelter, right? You Christians give a shit about shelter. Why would you make people desperate? They have no shelter. You're trying to reduce crime, but you're not going to give them any shelter? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're not a good person. So I feel like Safe Pueblo, essentially this little picture here, that's hierarchy. So what 300 is, the man beats the woman, tells her what to do. The woman beats the kids, tells them what to do. He represents Pueblo has been rated one of the worst in the nation for gun violence / murders. Holy shit. How many people are dying in Pueblo City? And nobody's even talking about it anymore. I mean, maybe last year or the year before, but second in the nation for car thefts. Worst in the nation for heroin ODs. Holy shit. worse for identity theft, and more. Doesn't say what the more is. I don't see where community policing is. I don't see where oversight is. I don't see where there's any consistent theory of policing whatsoever. Is this a broken windows theory? Is this restorative justice, community policing? Let's see here. It says that everything is going to be, Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel. So that's going to be, who's going to be in charge? The Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel. Whoever the fuck is in this advisory panel. Funding for each program will be in consultation with national consultant and auditor. So wonderful. We're spending, we're pulling the Margarita Lopez. We're going to spend millions of dollars for some New York-based consultant program, and they're just going to, Oakland, we're just going to put Oakland's problems here. I mean, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Pueblo has its own unique issues, so Pueblo needs a Pueblo solution. Pueblo does not need an Oakland or a New York or an outside national consultant solution. So advisement, so just, if this thing passes, they're pretending, they're acting, they're not telling you everything, but the Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel is going to be chosen by a large pool, in quotations, pool, not really, of local citizens and industry leaders. So just the business people, right? The wealthy, the rich, and maybe they're citizens too. Advisement is provided through a Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel. We should call that. That's the top dog fucking group. That's the SAPGCP. So CPSAP. The CPSAP. I'll work on it. But it's got a program director, a grant manager, and a grant committee with final approval of funding as required by law. So advisement. What is advisement? They're just supposed to talk to the police, and then the police, there's no way to enforce this. So they're just advisors. We're spending millions of dollars, $36 million over 10 years for advisement. $36 million. Talk about conservative. Raise your fucking taxes, $36 million. And she couldn't even say whether she was against the jail or not. So she's like, the verdict is out. Raising taxes up $315 fucking million. They're liberal when it comes to putting violence. One thing the few things that I liked actually about 300 was the gymnasiums. We're supposed to have a bunch of recreation centers, lots of gymnasiums, lots of basketball courts, and then they're going to be funding music and arts and all these different programs. It's going to be wonderful. It's basically one big party, nice constructive party. Get their minds focused on constructive things, right? Wonderful thing, but I'm reading over this and it's like, where's the music? Where's the arts? Where's the music? Where's the arts? And where is the gymnasiums? There's nowhere. They're talking about 24 cops, so we're going to get 24 new police, 20 Safe Pueblo community-based prevention, intervention, outreach programs. Okay, they're mentioning it, right? And they're going to target the young adults and the most at-need neighborhoods and at-risk youth. So they're going to designate, they're going to go around picking who the at-risk youth is. 44% of Pueblo is Hispanic, 2% is black. Question 300 is going to bring tons and tons of repression, 300 tons of repression. That's what 300 is going to bring to us. It says here that 300 is going to bring $3.6 million, but we don't call it a tax. We just call it a grant because we're going to get returns back from it. It's not a tax. It raises your taxes, $36 million. But, we're trying to say that it's not what it actually is. It's not a tax. It's a grant. Thank you for this gift, Pueblo City. Thank you for $36 million, Pueblo City. Woo! $36 million, man. We're going to be eating good for, next 10 years. Fuck your gym and fuck your music and art, right? These people, whoever is running this shit, they got, look at all these different, right, the program director. Why do we need a program director? Then the Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel, right? Look at all these different in geographic neighborhood councils, and then there's the grant manager and grant committee, right? So that's another group, and then the safety advisory panel and the council on human relations. The Bilderberg group is going to be over them. The Trilateral Commission is above them. The Freemason Jesuit Illuminati, and they're going to be not at the top. They're more like the legislative. This is a whole nother system of government, right? This is a whole nother, just completely rewriting the rules here. And then on top of those groups, we're going to have 4 horsemen, of the apocalypse. Here's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, right? That's what 300 guarantees you, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. It will bring the repression. It is a cleansing. It is a purge. I can't say it won't be the Sand Creek Massacre, but the national consultant wanted to say, well, if you don't want, don't tell them it's a sales tax. A sales tax is a regressive tax. It's taxing the working class people in order to fuck them over. It's taxing the working class people just like the regressive jail tax. Oh, you're in favor of human rights violations and all the, unnecessary deaths. You don't want criminal justice reform. Let's just throw a whole bunch of money into the system so we can get lots more petty people, lots more homeless people, and just stuff those jails as full as we possibly can. They are liberal when it comes to taxing the fuck out of you to fuck you and your family and your kids over for decades. They don't see schools and hospitals. That's not what they envision for you, Pueblo City. No, no, no. They see increase in fascism, and they see having a ministry of love, a torture chamber of which to kidnap you, torture the shit out of you, and ruin you for the rest of your life. Trying to scare the living shit out of you, right? Well, it's like the worst fucking city in the world, right? Why does Jenny Paulson hate Pueblo City so much? I mean, look how bad she's talking about us. She's saying we're all a bunch of fucking thugs and murderers and car thieves and we're a bunch of heroin addicts. 90 to 95% of us, Jenny Paulson, are good people. I don't know if you know that or not, but 90 to 95% of the people who live in the city are not the extreme people that you tried to stereotype all of us as being. Time to take back Pueblo. Who had it to begin with? What do you mean take back Pueblo? This is Oakland. This is racism. This is racism. Sand Creek Massacre, Rosewood, a cleansing, a purge. They're going to target the Hispanic youth. And it's going to be based on how they dress, whether or not they're compliant in the school system. It's going to be based upon who their parents are, their skin color. 300 is bad news. Take back Pueblo, right? We got to take it back like America, make America great again. Jenny Paulson was also against the street repair tax. So $1 a month was ridiculous. She said she was pro-business. But Aisha Urin, she's in favor of the street repair tax, and she owns a business. So who, you're saying Aisha Urin is against the business? Of course she'd never say something like that. She respects her. Of course she does. But the important part, the large pool of local citizens and industry leaders, so big business. Again, just the corporations. When corporations and government become one, that's fascism, as FDR and Mussolini defined it. Both of them defined fascism as corporatism. When the corporations control the auditors, quarterly public attrition reports, you need 3 substations, you're going to have these 10 neighborhood councils plus 24 police, and then you're going to have 20 Safe Pueblo community-based prevention. So wait, you got 20 Safe Pueblo thing here, then you have a Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel, and then you got the Safe Pueblo, and then you got the neighborhood councils, and then you got the national consultant. Don't forget the national consultant, right? That asshole is probably going to try to bring all these groups together, and who knows, maybe we shouldn't use any local people. Let's just bring national consultants in for the Safe Pueblo, for the neighborhood councils. Let's just use national. Don't trust the people. Oh my God, don't trust the people. We got to organize against the people, because that's the streets, right? Organize the streets against the streets. So, MOP. Money over pussy. That was huge news here in Pueblo City. Somebody was spray painting the letters M-O. In case I haven't made my point yet, I'm going to keep on saying that over and over again. Program director, grant manager, grant committee, Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel. Who the fuck is going to be sitting on this? This is all Jenny's friends. Not you and me, not Pueblo City. No, no, no. So this is a racist thing. So you can essentially assume people who are for this is a bunch of racist snitches. I mean, I saw a house over here that had a shit ton of Confederate flags all over the place. That will definitely, if they're voting, they probably aren't even voting, hopefully, right? But they will definitely vote for 300 because that's right up their alley. That's right in their interest. Of course, those racist, backwards pieces of shit would be in favor of something that would target the Hispanic youth. Specifically, target the Hispanic youth. 44% of Pueblo is Hispanics. And so there's good and bad in all groups, but we should also target the 10 geographic neighborhood councils. Then there's a violence and crime reduction task unit. And then there's 3 substations. There's quarterly public attrition reports. There's auditors. There's the Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel, program director, grant manager, grant committee. Does the grant committee have power over the Public Safety Advisory Panel? The 10 neighborhood councils, do they have power over the Public Safety Advisory Panel? Do all the 10 neighborhood councils answer to the Citizens Public Safety Advisory Panel? And then you have 20 Safe Pueblo community-based programs. So this is, what are we doing here? This is a whole bunch of shit. We're all over the place. We're all over the place. You got Illuminati, Freemasons, Jesuits, right? And then it's a grant. It's a grant, everybody. Don't even call it a tax. I mean, it is taxing the working class people to target the Hispanic youth, but let's not say that out loud. Let's keep that on. So there's a house here in Pueblo for $89,900, so essentially $90,000. And it says information deemed reliable but not guaranteed. That's by Jamie Baker or nothing. That's just her except the last name, right? So in Minnequa area, it's a ranch style. It's not a bad little home, right? Little tiny home. Little tiny home. Taxes are $304 a year. It's got 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. And it's, paved streets, and there's place for RV parking, right? So this is the picture of it here. $90,000. It's yours. If you have $90,000 just kind of sitting around, why don't you go ahead and invest in Pueblo City? Invest in Pueblo City and buy yourself 1807 Spruce Street. 1807 Spruce Street is $90,000. Get it while it lasts.